What does the academy mean to you?
There's certainly a want from all the staff to try and produce the young players and give them opportunities as much as we can.
When you witnessed the hairdryer, were you like, crikey?
Yeah, I'm not sure I could replicate that.
If I were to ask you if you wanted it, beyond. So the last time I saw you was after Match of the Day. Were those experiences so bad that you felt you just had to jump a job that came your way?
Yeah. I have to say I really enjoyed it, you know, seeing it from a different perspective, different angle, watching football in a different way. I enjoyed it, but this one was too good to turn down, unfortunately.
Take us back to the process of getting here to get this and the first phone call that you got and what went through your head.
Well, I was actually in the car, to be honest with you. I was driving.
On your own? Or was it one of those where
Newcastle.
somebody rings you and you have to... I've got the kids in the car, please don't swear. That's normally why I start phone calls with.
No, I was in the car driving on my own,
Right.
enough going on the way off to Newcastle at the time, and the message come through. So, to be honest, yeah, it was a nice thing to hear. Of course, it was, you know, but I was quite calm about it, actually, you know. It's
But here?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I don't know why. I just yeah, it just felt right, and that's not me being not arrogant or blasé in any way.
Yeah.
But it just felt quite normal, and obviously, you know, get a good feeling from it and excited. And I've been here for so long and experienced so much that probably at some point I was always hoping in the back of my mind that the opportunity would come along, and thankfully it has.
You smiled, surely, when you got... I mean, surely you smiled. And who did you ring after you put the phone down on that call?
No, listen, I was delighted, obviously, you know. It's to be at this club is special, so I'm not playing it down, but I just mean it wasn't a case of I come off the phone and shout and scream and celebrated on the motorway or anything. It was, yeah, I just called my wife and said, you know, this is what's happened, this is where we're at.
So when you agree to do it, and you know the length of time that you're doing it for, what do you start preparing for? Your backroom staff, had those calls already gone in?
Yeah, obviously assessing what needs to be done, what needs to be put in place, what staff, what that balance looks like, and obviously it's quite condensed into a short space of time, so putting the staff together was something that we had to get right and wanted to get right. So I was really happy with that. I thought that, you know, I would come together absolutely delighted with the staff. And yeah, of course, it's about getting the best out of the players, isn't it? So like you say, the first conversations and that first impression goes a long way. If I've been on the other side and someone new comes in the room, and my main message, to be honest, was, you know, I'm here to support you, I'm here to help you, and we're here to push you. So ultimately, we want to get good results here, but there's ways of doing it, and hopefully they've felt that support so far.
Did you think they'd been underachieving as a group?
It's not really to say whether they achieved or underachieved. For me, I think it's for me, walking in the door was what was in front of us, and I knew it was a really talented group, capable of, and a lot of potential within the group. So it was just about what can we do to try and help and improve things, and have 3 days before we played Man City. So it was quite a really kind of compressed, condensed game prep week with a lot of things going into it in a short space of time.
Did it help that it was Manchester City and Arsenal as the first two?
You could say it helped now, I think.
Well, hindsight's a wonderful thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
I think the fact there was two massive games, you know, City was a huge game playing at home, and the atmosphere, I have to say, was pretty special on the day, and even building up to the game, you know, you could feel it in and around the stadium before kick-off. It's impossible to describe how much that helps, but to feel that between everyone, you know, it's a real special feeling for me to be in the position to be able to share that with so many people, and that's probably the most satisfying thing so far is getting that connection and feeling that emotion from everyone in such a positive way.
With the 3 members of staff that you brought in Steve Holland and Jonathan Woodgate and Johnny Evans, how do you work as a four? Because there was a lot of attention on the people you brought in.
Yeah, well, there's Travis as well, Travis Finning, who was here, and he's been here for a number of years now through the academy and 18s and 21s. So, and Craig, who's the Craig Mawson, the goalkeeping coach, has been here as well. So there's a really strong group, and it feels like we've been together a long time. But we didn't all know each other. I didn't really know Steve personally an awful lot before. Thought it would come together nicely, and there was balance, and there's a reason why I wanted to bring Steve in. And Jonathan had him at Middlesbrough, loyal, gets me, knows me, pushes me, challenges me. Really good relationship, I think is important. And Johnny knew the club, been here for so long, and has a really good relationship with the players as well, and loves coaching, loves helping, and cares a lot. So there was that. And then Travis, I think the club needs the academy. Is a massive part of this football club. And that's 259 players now have made their debuts. Just presented. Tyler Fletcher was the last one.
Yeah.
You know, the academy is a massive part of the club. I think there's a really good balance with the responsibilities of the academy young players, and then the balance with Jonathan and Johnny being two of the best centre backs you can come across in the last 20-25 years. To pass their information on. Steve with his experience in so many ways. Chelsea with changes of managers and different styles of managers and top players. And England, you know, and all the staff are able to cope being around the environment, and I think that's so important. So
and they challenge you. They tell you when you're wrong.
For sure.
Not every manager would accept that.
No, but I can't be right the whole time. You know, it's impossible, and that's why we've got a group of 6 in our office. We've all got opinions and strong opinions, but I think we all filter it in, and it's important that we have a connection and understanding of what direction we want to go in, and we have to push each other. Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned the academy. What does the academy mean to you?
Yeah, an awful lot. Listen, I've always kept that feeling of what it was like as a young player, and something I've always had an eye on and been quite passionate about, to be honest. So, you know, with the tradition of this football club, it's natural to take that on, and it's just a proud moment as any to give a young player the debut, and there's certainly a want from not just me but all the staff and everyone at the club to try and produce the young players and give them opportunities as much as we can.
And is a United Academy player has always been in the first team matchday squad since, I don't know, 1930 something, isn't it? Is that a sense of pride? How much can it become a slight millstone if you would be the one that breaks that run?
Huge sense of pride, and on behalf of the whole football club, I think to have that is it's really outstanding to have for such a long period of time to have that, and it's something we need to hold on to. You know, it's what this football club is built upon really, and has been for so many decades, and so yeah, sure, I'm definitely well aware of it, and we want to carry that on. When
you watch the academy and you're watching the underage teams as well, when you go, is the pipeline that, again, I'm not putting pressure on them, but is the academy in good health? Yeah,
I think it's in great hands. I think it has been. I think that historically here it's kept producing players year after year, and we always hope for the next group or the next individual, and there's so much good work that goes into the academy. There's so many coaches, there's so many members of staff. We get carried away sometimes about the football and in results, in where we're at now. It's wins and draws and losses that count in some ways, but it's about developing young people and behaviours and helping them. There's so many players from this club that have maybe not even made the debut here, but have moved on and had unbelievable careers in the game, and I think that's something, again, that as a football club we're really proud of.
So following on from the academy chat then, so much noise around Kobbie Mainoo this season and not featuring, and now he's featured all the time under you. What did you see when you first got to work with him mentally? How was he, and how have you got him to where he is at the moment?
I've known Kobbie a long time. I started working with him, I think it was 13 or 14 really, when I started to do my coaching badges a good few years ago. So I've kind of only little bits, and then obviously when I was here the first time he was in and around little bits of working with him. So I think knowing him and having an experience with him and you know and seeing him, you know, to perform at such a level in such big occasions, to be able to cope with the I said earlier about coaches being able to cope with being here and at the level, you know, to deal with it. What Kobbie's done at such a young age is is quite incredible, really, and we forget how young he still is. So I was just a big fan of watching him play and knowing what he was capable of. So it wasn't really a big decision to play him. And to be fair, it's not easy when you haven't played to find your rhythm and find your form. And there's things he can get better at, things he can improve on, but we haven't really got started in any of that because we're just letting him go and find his flow and find his rhythm of playing football again. So I've been really conscious of not really giving him an awful lot. A couple of little pointers, a bit of positional things and little bits here and there, but trust in what he is. You know, he's a fantastic footballer and he's got a huge talent.
It sounds in many ways you rely on the human being side of things, rather. I don't mean this in a disparaging way, rather than a flip chart and
Yeah, that's me. I like being around people. I like sharing things. I'm not one that would be an individual as such, and don't promote the fact I've got all the answers, and I'm quite happy to discuss that. I think getting the best out of people, whatever that is, whether that's in the industry of TV, whether that's in the industry of sport or business, I think treating people in a way and respect, but pushing, like I said, for me, support and helping, but pushing is, and the feeling, the connection. I think that whatever it is, the technical side will help and we can get better at all that, but if you haven't got that connection and that buy-in and that willingness to want to come with you and follow you, then all the other bits, you know, kind of lose the value and don't get to fill all that potential. So I see it as a massive thing to get that connection with people.
Do you shout at them?
I haven't yet, no. I haven't had to really, no. Not yet. There's a time for all sorts of emotions, and that's the beauty of being in the position. You've got to pick the right time and tap on the right kind of buttons to get the right reaction. You know, that's and if that's the case, that's the case.
When you witnessed the hairdryer, were you like, crikey?
Yeah, I'm not sure I could replicate that. And I wouldn't try to, but yeah, a couple of times I've seen it, and it puts you at the back of your seat, trying to get further away from it. But again, you know, you're talking about Sir Alex, and he was the genius at using people and getting the best out of people in so many different ways. Support, pushing, bit stronger than pushing at times, but it worked, you know. But it was all about getting the best out of his players.
Who are the managers that you played for that you look to incorporate now in what you're doing?
There's a few times maybe I've done something and then it's not till after, and I remember something that's happened years ago with different managers or coaches, and you think, oh, that actually happened then. So it kind of sometimes, experience is a beautiful thing to kind of draw upon in different ways, you know, and that's just life and anyway, you know. And listen, Sir Alex had the biggest impact on me. I think that's pretty obvious to say, because everything we kind of achieved here, but I think just learning and knowing that I've never got all the answers, and just keep searching for more experience, and that's why the staff are there to help in that regard.
A lot of the players from that era are now pundits. In the same way that when you were playing, a lot of the successful Liverpool team were pundits. Do you have to accept it and just shut it out? And is that easier for you than it is for your younger players?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me one bit.
I didn't think it would.
Generally, it doesn't. I'm not going to really fall out with anyone over that. I think it's a respect thing as much as anything, really, and I'll give and take that. I think for younger players, I think in general it's something we need to help them and look after them. You know, it's a different world now to when, say, I was coming through, but we'll do that and we'll look after them.
If I were to ask you if you wanted it beyond, like I know you'll have a stock answer, but I also think you're probably very much just what will be, are you? Yeah,
it's not a stock answer, you know. Listen, for me, it's the ultimate role, you know. I'm really enjoying it. I love it. I love what I'm doing. I'm fortunate. I feel privileged to be in the position I am, but it's not the fact that I believe I can do it, you know, and I'm here for it to do. I said it when I came in. There's the sentimental side of that, of understanding the role and coming through the club and being here and loving the club and being a supporter, and all that side of it is one thing, but actually I'm here to do a job now and to make a good team and be successful. So I don't decide how long that's going to be. but I love being here, and while I'm here, I'll give everything I can, and I always plan for the long-term future for the benefit of the football club. That's how I believe it should be.
And you're very happy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I smiled enough for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving what I'm doing. It's again, you know, really good people. The staff are fantastic. The players have been unbelievable. It's a really good place to come in every single day to drive in and look forward to being here, and then obviously and then around the city and globally, that, you know, the reaction and the support that you get is just, it's very hard to describe. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm delighted to be here.
All right, but if people keep asking you that, then you might shout at them.
Possibly.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.